Hi, I'm Theo. This is my Sims 4 build of Castle Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village. I've just made this to have a look around at what I built for anyone who wants to see it, wants to check it out before downloading, or maybe doesn't have the game to download it themselves. I hope you enjoy. It's just a 10-minute walk around, and we'll get right into it. You leave the grounds, you actually go into the carriage gate, which leads into the entrance hall, which isn't spot on, but it's about as good as I got it. And those people are not half as attractive as the Dimitrescu daughters, but it's a picture and it'll do. We have the elevator and go through the long hallway that you actually get dragged through in the game when you're on the way to see Lady Dimitrescu. This here is actually my favourite room. It's supposed to be Duke's merchant store, and I put Bluffy the bear in to stand in for Duke. It's even got the antique typewriter save point, and the dollhouse stands in for the labyrinth game. I thought that was pretty nice detail, and I really enjoyed building that room. It was the first I did. We have the hallway to the living room and bedroom, which had a lot of detail, a lot of rugs, a lot of pictures. And what I would do is I would record videos while playing the game and then reference back to them as I did the build. The second room I did was this bedroom, which looks so different in the light, but I think it's really cool. I especially like that baseball bat to imitate the lever, which Ethan is dragged up by. Quick look at the lounge, where you go through the fireplace to escape because that door is locked in the game. And I had this little hidden door, looks like a bookshelf, and you are led into the Hall of Four. Statues instead of, well, tombstones instead of statues. This is the main hall, a very large room, took me a long time to copy, and I mean, the stairs are an absolute pain in The Sims 4, so that is not easy to copy. Of course, had to be clipping. But this is the wine room full of lots of wine. We have the notebook in the right place, the fancy bottle in the right place. Fortunately, that room isn't actually part of the build because it would have been too hard to copy. But this is the long hallway where you would go into the door with the maroon ring and be chased by the lovely Bella through to her dressing room, which was nice because it's nice and bright. You've got the chaise lounge and everything, and then you bust through and head down to the basement cells. Long ladders on the way down, and of course you had to get a little bit stuck, but here we are in the basement, which I also had a lot of fun doing. Lots of rocks, lots of statues, lots of skeletons, lots and lots of barrels. So this would be to copy the little bit that you crawl through to where you first see Alcina grabbing a bottle of wine and then disappearing through that door. I believe this was called the tasting room and leads down to the Hall of War, which is the brightest room in the game and unfortunately not populated by lots of sword-wielding skeletons. A good thing we do have one skeleton to match some torture devices. Absolutely beautiful cells. Cannot doubt how grotty these places are. Unfortunately, a lot of the tools are floating. Um, I think a lot of it is to do with the sheer amount of items that there is. It's impossible to get everything settled down, but I still think it's pretty cool, which I've said a lot, and I'm probably going to say it again. So this is the more medical bit where you would sink through and have the body fall on you before you head to just a couple more barrels, couple more cells, and luckily some crates which you would smash if you were Ethan. And you would be being attacked right now though, so that wouldn't be the most fun you could be having. This would be the part where you can see into the little room with the iron insignia door, and you would get the azure ring, but no azure ring here. Just a lot of hallways which I even got lost in while filming, never mind not having Bella chasing me. But she will chase you, and she will head up to the kitchen, where we can find her stood there, our first actual sim. She is gorgeous. She's on pause at the moment, so she's not moving, but she has her own dress, her own pendant. Each of the girls have a slightly different look, and they are also available for download on my gallery. Here you go through the room where you unfortunately have to kill her, and into the kitchen where you're just going to meet a lot of meat, a lot of crates, and a lot of meat. You can make a quick pit stop, grab a lockpick off the cabinet, and heading to the dining room, which was quite cool actually because it's the first really populated room. Lots of plates, lots of cups, fortunately clean plates, and then you can go into the courtyard where you get the key actually from the wine room if you're playing the game. I liked doing this. It's nice and clean, it's nice and bright, but it matches the dimensions pretty well. Way to Lady Dimitrescu's chambers, sped up massively because of the amount of floors that we have, but you would be going into the Hall of Ablutions. No pool of blood, just a hot tub. No statues of fawning men, just some gnomes. You got to do what you got to do, but you would obviously go through there and head down into the distillery, which is, I mean, I was really proud of this pool of blood, which is just red water and a ton of crates. Um, I would never ever be able to copy all them tables, all of the enemies, but it's a nice little area just to get that feeling of doom before you go up to the terrace, take a little peek around. Another save point. This is just a filler room with a closet in, but here we're gonna go and see the main attraction. Of course, Lady Dimitrescu herself in her chambers with the empty cradle, no rows. Just beautiful lady, not at her desk because she wouldn't sit down, but here you can see her dress, her hat, and crouch down and pretend that you are as small as Ethan actually is compared to her before she grinds you through the floor and into the dungeon. Um, the dungeon is rank, so I had to replicate that as best I could. This place was quite hard to build. I had to delete it 2 or 3 times. I couldn't quite get the rooms right, but I'm really glad it worked out. Full of barrels, full of just about everything to scare you to death before you get your hand chopped off in the game, but not now. You just get to run through and head over to I think it's the Hall of Rage, which is actually just a pig statue because The Sims 4 does not have statues to match the Hall the Hall of Rage, which would send you up to the courtyard where our fountain is and into the opera hall. All the staircases and the entrance, but I like the piano. I like this little area under the stairs, which has all the big vases. You will spot a few of those around to match the ones that you can break in Resident Evil. Um, you head up here, and you still got the cool terraced effect. Still got the curtained archways and a broken labyrinth. Getting chased, I believe. Um, and into the library, of course, where you have to kill Daniela, who is our second daughter, I believe, and she's underneath the dome. Not openable, but still a cool detail. This, it's just a lady and a snail. So you'd go through to the word that I can't pronounce, but this is the room where you have to shoot all the bells. Um, the stairs are just some little derelict thingies, and they would open up onto the roof, which I kind of copied, kind of didn't. Some my own rooms, bedrooms and everything for The Sims if you wanted to play this as an actual place to live. I thought this would probably be Bella's room because she's the oldest. She gets her own space. She gets a really fancy bathroom, lots of marble, lots of purple, and you can even see down to the library. To the Hall of Pleasure, I believe it's called. The statue is actually a T-Rex skull, no screaming bent over ladies contorting their heads, just a T-Rex and a bookcase door into the armory where we meet Cassandra, our final daughter boss, stood in front of the fireplace, not going absolutely crazy about you being her prey, just hanging out by a supposed to be mounted goat, but it's actually an anglerfish. All deer antlers and everything are actually anglerfish. And I just thought I'd show you the remaining room, which is ladies' bathroom. Huge bathtub, a little bit of lipstick you can nick. That's it for the official rooms. We just have a couple of more filler rooms. So this is the room I believed would be maybe Daniela's bedroom. It's again very pink, but I wanted to have some brighter, prettier rooms to go in with all the dungeons and the basement cells. And you can even walk across this little balcony into the final filler room, which I suppose would have to be Cassandra's bedroom, but she gets her own bathroom at least. But yeah, that is it for the total build. Thank you for watching. I'll just quickly show you the Sims themselves, their stats. I have a mod on, which is why it looks like there's some weird traits that you can't actually get in the game. But, yeah, I think they're pretty well matched to the characters, with Bella being more in charge, Daniela being a bit more crazy, and thinking Ethan will love her if she tries hard enough. But here's just a floor plan, upper floor. You can see all the lights, all the rugs, all the plants. There's a lot of flowers and columns, everything. It took a lot of work, and it was a lot of fun to do that and hopefully share it with people. So the basement is really cool. It looks so much bigger and creepier when you're looking at it in this view, even more so than going through it in first person, I think. You can see the dungeon is pretty awkward, but also really cool in that perspective. But yes, this is the build. Um, Thank you so much if you do decide to download, if you decide to play it, or if not, if you just watch this just for a little look around, that is cool also. I will leave on a final image of our beautiful, beautiful lady. Thank you once again.